Season 1 of The Lincoln Lawyer introduces Mickey Haller, a former lawyer who retired after a surfing injury led to multiple surgeries, a crippling addiction to painkillers, and a long stint in rehab. Mickey is afraid to return to practicing law out of fear of a relapse, knowing that the guilt he feels over failing a past client led to his susceptibility to his drug addiction. Mickey is reluctantly pulled back into his old career when a lawyer colleague, Jerry Vincent, is murdered, and prior to his death had left his entire practice and all of his clients to Mickey. And so Mickey is now busier than ever as a lawyer, with one of his many new clients being Trevor Elliott, a wealthy and famous video game company founder accused of murdering his wife Laura and her yoga instructor lover Jan. Mickey's first ex-wife Maggie is worried about his new stressful workload, especially as they are in the midst of establishing joint custody for their teenage daughter Hayley. Fortunately, Mickey has a lot of help in his new firm. Mickey's second ex-wife Lorna is his loyal paralegal, while her fiancé Cisco is hired to be Mickey's private investigator. When Mickey takes on the case of a recovering addict named Izzy accused of stealing a necklace, Mickey helps get the case dropped, and seeing himself in the woman, hires her to be his personal driver. Despite having a new office to work out of, Mickey prefers being on the road, thinking better while being driven in one of his signature Lincoln cars. While working on the Trevor Elliott case, Mickey also assists Maggie in a case of her own. Working as the deputy district attorney, Maggie is trying to convict Angelo Soto, the owner of an elderly care facility accused of human trafficking. With Mickey's help, Maggie gets Soto's scared and pregnant girlfriend to wear a wire and record his confession. Although the tape is muffled, Maggie gets assistance from a detective named Lankford in testifying to Soto's confession. In the end, Soto is convicted, while Maggie and Mickey rekindle their old romance. Meanwhile, Mickey is trying to atone for his failure in keeping his innocent former client Jesus Menendez out of prison for a murder he didn't commit. Mickey's star witness in the Menendez case, a prostitute named Gloria, had gone missing before testifying, and now Mickey is determined to find her. Cisco and Lorna find Gloria and convince her to testify, where she confesses to being attacked by the real killer, whom she identifies as having a distinctive tattoo, and also reveals a corrupt detective working on the orders of Lankford had threatened her to leave town in order to ensure Menendez's conviction. Lankford is exposed as tampering with cases to ensure convictions, ruining his legal credibility, and in turn his true testimony against Angelo Soto is dismissed. And so the very real criminal Soto is released from custody, to the dismay of Maggie. As Mickey works the Trevor Elliott case, he also teams up with Detective Raymond Griggs to solve Jerry's murder. Jerry's private investigator Carlin has gone into hiding following his boss's death, but warns Mickey that Jerry's death is related to Trevor's case. Unfortunately, before they can get more information from him, Carlin is killed by a passing car. While investigating Trevor's case, Lorna and Cisco discover that murdered yoga instructor Jan had affairs with many of his clients, including a woman named Carol. Mickey then learns from the late Jerry's receptionist that the lawyer had a secret magic bullet that would prove Trevor's innocence. As Mickey delves deeper into the case, he begins being followed and his car is bugged, leading Cisco to fear he is in danger of a similar fate to Jerry. Wanting to protect Mickey's family from potential danger, Cisco seeks out the help of his former biker gang, the Road Saints. Mickey discovers that Jerry's magic bullet is somehow connected to an imprisoned man named Eli Wims, a sniper who was arrested the same day as Trevor for opening fire on a group of cops. Unfortunately, Wims knows nothing about Trevor or his murder case. A worried Trevor then confesses to Mickey that his company is about to be acquired in a deal involving a Russian mob boss, but his murder case is jeopardizing the acquisition that would make everyone very wealthy. And so Trevor needs to be found innocent as soon as possible, or the deal could fall through and the Russian mob boss would have him killed. For this reason, Trevor had pushed back when his original lawyer Jerry had asked for a continuance to compile more evidence, and it's why Trevor now pleads with Mickey to bring this trial to a close quickly. One of the main pieces of evidence against Trevor is gunshot residue found on his hands after his arrest, but Mickey realizes Jerry's magic bullet and argues in court that the residue actually got on Trevor's hands due to him being placed in the same police car as the gunman Eli Wims. As the trial draws to a close, Mickey faces off in court against Jeff Golantz, who has never lost a case. Mickey delivers a compelling closing argument to prove Trevor's innocence, but as they await a verdict, Cisco discovers that Trevor's funding from the Russian mob boss was a lie. Trevor's life was never in danger, and the lie was used as a cover-up to stop Jerry's call for a continuance, as Trevor had bribed a juror named Glenn McSweeney, and the trial delay would have brought with it a fresh juror pool. As Trevor is found not guilty and celebrates his acquittal, Mickey is shocked to realize that Trevor is in fact the murderer, killing Lara after she threatened to reveal to the world that she was in fact the genius behind all of his success. Mickey is then confronted by Glenn McSweeney, but as they fight, McSweeney is killed after falling to his death. Trevor denies sending McSweeney to kill Mickey, but he is then shot and killed by Carol, avenging the death of her lover Jan. In the end, Mickey discovers that Jerry had uncovered Trevor bribing a juror with the help of a judge, who has a long history of playing middleman to jury tampering for profit. To cover up her involvement, the judge paid McSweeney to kill Jerry, and later to kill Mickey. And so, as the season comes to a close, Mickey returns to his love of surfing after giving it up following his injury and addiction. Finding peace in knowing that the judge is arrested, the case is finally closed, and justice has been served. I want to cut in real quick and tell you about this video's sponsor, Bombas. I genuinely love Bombas socks. Even nicer than their stylish look is just how comfortable they are. There's no annoying tags or itchy toe seams, and there's so many diverse options to choose from. I got some no-show socks for a casual look, some basic ankle socks that are really comfy for everyday wear. I've got some half-calf socks for a trendy vintage look, and some half-calf running socks that protect my feet while I'm working out. And I even got these fun green-ribbed calf socks that are super warm that I like to wear as a little pop of color if I'm dressing up. And now that summer's ending and temperatures are cooling, Bombas is helping me keep my feet warm and cozy. These chunky rag socks are perfect for curling up on the couch and keeping your feet warm if you have to go out into the cold. And the Sunday slippers, don't even get me started on these things. They're like walking on clouds, super soft, super warm. I never take these things off. Seriously, I go out and run errands wearing them. So check out the Bombas shop featuring the plushiest, softest, most absurdly comfortable essentials for the season. They make the perfect holiday gift for everyone. Something that's even more special and important for me when it comes to Bombas is that they are a brand with a purpose. One of the most needed clothing items for people experiencing homelessness are socks, and Bombas donates a pair with every pair purchased. They also make really comfy shirts and underwear, and those have the same one bought, one donated principle. That means to date, Bombas has donated over 100 million essential clothing items. Plus, there's a 100% happiness guarantee. So feel good and do good with Bombas, knowing your purchase is doing real good. New customers get 20% off their first purchase by going to bombas.com/recap and using promo code RECAP20 at checkout. Thanks so much to Bombas for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the recap. In Season 2 of The Lincoln Lawyer, Mickey Haller has acquired newfound status and infamy following the Trevor Elliott case, leading him to be hired by a man named Russell Lawson, who was arrested for breaking and entering. Under their attorney-client privilege, Russell shockingly reveals himself to be the tattooed killer that Gloria had identified in Jesus Menendez's murder case. Mickey has been tirelessly trying to exonerate his former client and catch the real killer, but now Russell has him trapped by his legal responsibilities. If Mickey turns in Russell as the killer, he would be breaking his legal oath and would in turn be disbarred. Fortunately, Mickey is able to outsmart Russell, revealing the home address of Gloria, the only witness to his killings. And so as Russell goes to kill Gloria to ensure his freedom, Mickey alerts the authorities and has him arrested, finally exonerating Jesus Menendez. Elsewhere, Lorna decides to return to law school, having dropped out years prior due to one of her professors harassing her. Back in school and juggling her work with Mickey, Lorna is confronted once again by her old Professor Wheaton. Thankfully, with the support of her friends, Lorna is able to move past her trauma and continue school. Meanwhile, Cisco learns that his old friend from the Road Saints, Kaz, has been released from prison after agreeing to serve as an informant. Wanting to protect both his friend and his old gang, Cisco saves the Saints from an ATF raid and has Lorna help him forge a new identity for Kaz to leave town and live a new life in peace. With their own personal dramas settled, Lorna and Cisco get married in City Hall before celebrating with their friends and family at a new dance studio opened up by Izzy. Mickey once again reconciles his romance with his first ex-wife Maggie, who then abruptly announces her decision to accept a new job and move to San Diego, knowing she'd never be able to truly move on with her life if she keeps falling back into Mickey's arms. Mickey then develops a romance with a restaurateur and activist, Lisa Trammell. That romance is cut short when Mickey agrees to represent her as a lawyer after her very public rival, real estate developer Mitchell Bondurant, is found murdered. Mitchell had previously taken out a restraining order against Lisa before his death, due to her protesting his development and gentrification of her neighborhood and refusing to sell her restaurant, and now all evidence points to her as his killer. During Lisa's trial, Mickey faces off in court against the tough prosecutor Andrea Freeman. Freeman reveals that the murder weapon is discovered to be a hammer missing from Lisa's personal toolkit. Her gardening gloves are found covered in Mitchell Bondurant's blood, and several witnesses testify that Lisa had a mutually abusive relationship with her ex-husband Jeff, who refuses to testify on her behalf. Mickey expertly argues against Freeman's case and throws doubt on Mitchell's contractor Grant, who had previously gotten into a public argument with the real estate developer over lost business and has ties to the Armenian mob. With enough reasonable doubt in the jury's mind, Lisa is officially acquitted, much to Mickey's relief. Unfortunately, Mickey then discovers that Lisa had actually killed her husband Jeff and hired someone to pose as him during the trial. Jeff is buried on Lisa's property, making it all the more important that she never sell it to Mitchell Bondurant. Lisa is adamant to Mickey that her husband was abusing her, but Mickey knows that Jeff had planned on divorcing her, taking half of her business with him. And so Lorna contacts Detective Griggs to investigate Lisa for a murder she actually did commit. As the season comes to a close, Mickey is called on by a new client, Julian Lacoste, who has been arrested for murder. Julian proclaims his innocence and tells Mickey that his friend Giselle had told him he could trust Mickey, and now that Giselle is dead and Julian has been blamed, he needs Mickey to work his legal magic. Mickey has no idea who Giselle is, but upon inspecting her body at the morgue, he unfortunately realizes that she is in fact Gloria, the kind-hearted witness who helped put away Russell Lawson and exonerate Jesus Menendez.